A Wall Street Genius's Final Investment. Chapter 12. The Power of Perception in Princess Rachel. Ha Si-hyun, Sean, continues to manipulate office dynamics by using a fabricated rumor, pretending the entire department bet $100,000 on his failure, to make himself more memorable and stir interest. Although his colleagues don't take the bait, he shifts focus to more strategic targets. At a major meeting, he meets Rachel Mosley, a stunning, rich Harvard graduate with deep ties to old money and personal connections to the MD. Realizing her elite background and potential as a networking gateway to high-net-worth clients, Sean immediately plots to win her over, but carefully. He decides she must approach him first for any meaningful interaction to stick. During the meeting, Sean impresses everyone by summarizing the complicated project discussion in his own words, surprising even the MD. Afterward, he quietly asserts his expertise again during a work session with Rachel, earning praise from senior colleagues. Despite his efforts, Rachel remains distant, reserved, and cautious. She finally breaks the silence by including him in a casual dinner invitation with other new hires, a small step, but one Sean sees as a foothold in his longer-term plan, building trust and influence with the princess of the room. Sean enjoys a surprisingly tasty cheeseburger while quietly observing Rachel and two male colleagues who seem interested in her. However, their cautious behavior reveals they're aware of Rachel's powerful background and are trying not to cross any lines. Rachel tries to slyly bring up Sean's name in conversation to learn more about him, but the men don't take the bait. Sean notes her curiosity but also her disappointment when the others avoid discussing him. He realizes the limits of using them for intel on Rachel. Later, a flurry of attention surrounds Sean as news of his high-stakes salary bet spreads among his colleagues. Seniors excitedly approach him, wanting in on the action. Sean seizes the opportunity to gauge potential future hedge fund clients based on who's willing to risk their salary, a potential indicator of wealth or boldness. He distinguishes between those chasing status and those who might truly be valuable connections, especially those meeting legal standards for hedge fund investors. Sean understands that credibility is everything on Wall Street, especially for a young Asian outsider aiming to break into the elite financial world. As he analyzes personalities and potential, he draws attention from Gonzalez, a senior from the Natural Resources Department, who could be the heir to a fortune. But Sean still considers Rachel's mysterious influence to be more valuable for now. By day's end, 15 seniors have joined the bet, and the pot surpasses $110,000. The rumor mill continues to churn, with word spreading that even managing directors are clashing over the bet, especially a confrontation involving the healthcare MD and Pierce. While Si-hyun stirred controversy, the healthcare division was in turmoil due to internal power plays. The MD, known as Rhino, second to Pierce in performance rankings, became increasingly suspicious when Pierce suddenly decided to enter the healthcare market through a game-like bet with a newbie, clearly a strategic move to intrude on Rhino's turf. Furious, Rhino confronted Brent, who was following Pierce's orders but couldn't get through to him. When Pierce returned from a business trip, Rhino demanded the bet be cancelled. Pierce responded calmly but made it clear, he's not backing down. In fact, he offered Rhino a deal. If any of the pitches turned into actual deals, Rhino could take credit. Rhino declined, confirming Pierce's suspicion that Rhino was too emotionally driven to see opportunity. After Rhino stormed off, Pierce's deputy Jeff warned him about internal rumors. 15 other employees had matched the newbie's salary bet, suspecting Pierce was manipulating things from behind the scenes. Pierce, however, claimed this was just a test to see what Si-hyun was made of, and it was exceeding expectations. Instead of simply surviving the chaos, Si-hyun was expanding it and thriving. Meanwhile, Si-hyun found his upcoming staff assignments mysteriously cancelled, obviously orchestrated by Pierce to keep him within his control. At work, Si-hyun stepped in to rescue a struggling team by reverse engineering data to make growth numbers look more attractive, all done legally with creative footnoting. As he worked late into the night with Rachel, the pampered Ivy League analyst, she began to question the morality of what they were doing. Si-hyun, recognizing her vulnerability, saw this not as a moment for sympathy, but a strategic chance to deepen his influence. Not to become her friend, but her future fund manager. Rachel is caught in a moral dilemma, torn between ethics and profit. Ha Si-hyun, ever the opportunist, sides with money, justifying their actions as exploiting loopholes, not breaking laws. His blunt stance unsettles Rachel, especially considering his past as a former medical student who once aimed to save lives. When Rachel confronts him, Ha Si-hyun reveals a dramatic backstory. He lost someone dear to an incurable disease and now wants to raise billions to fund a cure. Though his motivations seem noble, it's clear he's using the story strategically, to gain Rachel's trust and support. Rachel, touched and guilty for her earlier assumptions, apologizes and starts seeing him in a different light. They part ways, with Si-hyun planting curiosity in her about the real purpose of a client meeting. The next day, Rachel is surprisingly invited to a client meeting with Colton Group. The real reason? Her powerful connections. Her father, a partner at the elite law firm Cravath and Swain and personal lawyer to Henry Kissinger, adds immense value to the firm's image. This impresses the Colton CEO, confirming Rachel's hidden leverage in the corporate world.
Until then. Thank you for listening, see you in next chapter. Please like, share and subscribe for more episodes.